Hi. For the fourth week of Advent, we are going to focus on love. I mean, honestly, how could we not anyway? As we are very quickly marching towards Christmas, right? Where it's just a couple of days away. How could we not focus on a God who loved us so much that he sent his son to come into this broken and dark world to come and save us? And so the verse that keeps coming to mind for me, it's not a very Christmassy verse, but it's John 3:16. It's for God so loved the world that he gave his one and only son, that whoever believes in him will not perish but have everlasting life. You see, this Christmas season, it is all about love. It's all about God's love for humanity, God's love for you, for me. And so he wasn't content in us having a broken relationship. He wasn't content in leaving us in darkness. He wasn't content in the fact that we kept rejecting him as a God, and yet he still wanted to provide a way for us to have relationship, for us to have reconciliation, for us to come and live with him for eternity. And so he hatched this plan, this brilliant plan, to send a savior to come and redeem us, to reconcile us, to forgive us, to help us, to save us. And I love that he did it in such a way that it wasn't, he just sent this king to make the world right. He sent a baby who went through the entire experience, the human experience, and he went from birth and death, and he did it in humility, in poverty, and he experienced really what it meant to be human. And in the midst of that, he called us to himself and said, "Follow me." And so when we look at Christmas, the reason we are celebrating is not because of Santa, and it's not because of the presents, and it's not because of the lights or the food or even our family. The reason we are celebrating is because there is a God that loves us so much that he sent us a savior. He sent us Jesus. And so we celebrate his birthday because we appreciate and recognize that without him, we would still be lost in our sin. We would still be lost in unforgiveness. We would still be in need of reconciliation of God. And so the reason we celebrate is because God loved us so much, because Jesus loved us so much, because we were given a savior. And I love that his name means Emmanuel, which is God with us. And so he sent himself to be with us, to walk with us, to teach us. He has still sent his spirit to live inside of us. He didn't want to not have a relationship with us. You don't want to talk about unconditional love. I mean, we can look around our world and see conditional love, right? I'll love you if. But I'm so thankful that God didn't say, I'll love you if only. He said, I love you in spite of. I love you in spite of your sin, and I want relationship. He wasn't content in just leaving us in our sin and in the pain and the suffering. He says, I'm going to make a new place for us, and you can come and live with me. He loved us. He loves us. He's coming back for us. And so when you are looking at the presents and the trees and the lights, or maybe your services at Christmas, I want you to think about the God who loves you so much that he sent Jesus to this earth for you, to reconcile, to bring you back into a right relationship with God. And so he sent us a savior. And so we celebrate with the angels, we celebrate with heaven, because heaven invaded earth on our behalf. And so I don't know what you got going on this Christmas season. I know that it is really easy to get busy and distracted and focused on the wrong things. But I want you to maybe pause, and I want you to talk to God, and I want you to thank Him that He chased after us, even with our rejection, even though and we still do it, we think that we can do things better without Him. And yet He sent Jesus for you and for me. And so the reason we celebrate is because of the love of God, because of the love of Jesus. And it is the kind of love that He is asking for us to have, a kind that is unrelenting, and passionate, and just full of zeal, right? So my blessing for you this Christmas is this, that you will encounter the Savior and the God, the Father that loves you so incredibly much, that you will find hope in Jesus, that you will sit in the Lord's presence and find peace because He's offered it, that you will find joy, just the kind of joy that you have always wanted in your life, that isn't shaken by your circumstances, and that you will feel the love of the Father and our Savior, and it will just wash over you this season. So, Merry Christmas. I hope that you are filled with all the joy and the love and the peace and the hope that God intends for you to have. Thank you. Bye.